You're listening to the Wellness Life Podcast, episode number 5. I'm your host, Megan Kennedy, holistic nutritionist, owner of the health food store Natural Vibe, and founder of thewellnesslife.ca. On this show, we will be talking about all things wellness, such as nutrition, mindset, lifestyle, and more. Join me and other wellness experts as we discuss tips to help you live a healthier lifestyle, look and feel your best, and achieve your highest potential. Welcome to The Wellness Life. Today on the podcast, I wanted to talk about something I get parents asking me about all the time, and that is how do I deal with my picky eater? My definition of a picky eater is when someone refuses food often or eats the same foods over and over. Picky eaters, as you may already know, are not always kids, as we all know some adults who are picky eaters as well. However, it usually peaks in the toddler and preschool years. Why does this matter if someone is a picky eater? Well, if they're only eating certain foods over and over, there's a good chance they are not getting all of the essential nutrients their bodies need to thrive, which is especially important in our children's growing bodies. First off, I want to let you know that, friend, you are not alone. I don't think I've met a single parent who hasn't at some point had to deal with a picky eater. And from the little bit of research I've done on the subject, it seems that picky eating is a common occurrence amongst children. I think sometimes as parents, having a picky eater can definitely be a cause of anxiety, but it's important to know that you are not doing the wrong thing, and there's not necessarily something wrong with your child. I'm a firm believer our children will go through different phases, and this picky eater stage seems to be a common occurrence. This is why today I wanted to share some things that have worked for me and dealing with my very own picky eater. I still remember the first time it happened. I had just finished cooking dinner, and when I put the plate on the table, my son Ben said, "Mama, I don't like that. I want something else to eat." I was shocked. Ben was always so good at eating whatever I put in front of him. At that moment, I had to make a choice. Do I make something else, or do I choose tough love and play the, nope, this is what we're having, take it or leave it card? I decided to go with the latter, mainly because I remember hearing from a few of my friends who had kids that said, once you start making a second meal, it was to be expected. And I don't know about you, but I barely have time to make one meal, let alone two. Because the tough love approach doesn't really align with our parenting style, I went on a hunt to figure out ways to get Ben more involved with dinner time, expand his tastes, and hopefully get him liking lots of different types of foods. I will be completely honest, it is sometimes still a struggle. His likes and dislikes are constantly changing, but here are a few things that we started doing that we found has helped. And some of these tips I'm going to share will also work for those picky adult eaters as well. Tip number 1. I started getting the whole family involved in meal planning. So on the weekend, when I plan out my week, I go around and ask my husband and son to each pick a meal that they would like to have on the following week's meal plan. In the beginning, I explained to Ben that one night a week is your favorite meal, and some of the other nights are mine and his dad's favorite meals. Each week, because his tastes are always changing, I also ask Ben what are some of his favorite foods, which I also then incorporate some of those foods into my meal plan. Once you make your meal plan, put it on the fridge. That way everyone knows what's to be expected. Number 2. I get Ben involved in the cooking. Now, I know this isn't always easy when you're trying to get dinner on the table quickly, but I discovered this worked a while back when I got Ben involved in making kale chips. For the longest time, Ben would not eat kale. One day, I decided to make kale chips and got him involved in the process, washing the kale, drying it, tearing it into little pieces, and when it came out of the oven, he actually wanted to try some. Why? Because he helped me make it. So my next tip would be to get your picky eaters involved in the kitchen. Not only is it quality time you get to spend together, but it's teaching them about certain foods and how to cook them, a very important skill that will only benefit them later in life. Depending on the age of your child, Ben now helps me wash fruits and vegetables, add and stir ingredients when I'm making energy balls or muffins. Friday night is always homemade pizza night in our house. So Ben puts the sauce and toppings on, and it's kind of become like a fun, definitely messy ritual that I actually look forward to. Another way to get them involved is at the grocery store. Ben holds our shopping list with a marker, and I get him to scratch off the ingredient or see who can find a certain food first. This is a fun game for him, but it also exposes him to getting to know different types of foods. If it's possible, I would plan at least one night off for the main chef, whether that's you or your partner. While this person has a break, the other family members are responsible for cooking. So not only does it give you a break, it allows your children and partner time to bond and also reminds them how it's hard work getting dinner on the table, which I find leads to a little bit more appreciation. Tip number 3. When serving meals, try and offer a variety of foods. I found with Ben, by offering him a variety of things, allowed him to pick and choose what he really wanted to eat, as opposed to just cooking one thing that maybe he really doesn't like and won't eat. A good rule of thumb is to keep in mind every time you offer a new food, make sure you offer a familiar one as well. That way, the familiar food gets them started eating, and they're way more likely to continue eating and try the new food. Another key point is don't stop introducing foods just because your child says they don't like them. For the longest time, Ben wouldn't eat salad. Did I still sometimes put a little bit of salad on his plate? Yes. Does he eat it? Sometimes, but if I stopped trying after the first time, he never would have tried it. His taste and exploration of foods are always changing. It's important to keep exposing them to all different types of foods because they might just come around and try it and maybe even like it. Tip number 4, lead by example by eating healthy food yourself. Never underestimate how powerful it is to be a good role model. These little humans are constantly watching what we are doing, and if they see us eating certain foods, they will be way more likely to try them. Another thing we have also found helped was to explain the benefits of certain foods. Ben eats carrots, not because he loves how they taste, but because he knows they're good for his eyes. And he believes if he eats them, he will have good night vision like Superman. Does he like greens? Not really. Does he know they give him lots of nutrients to make him big and strong like the Hulk? Yes. Is he more likely to eat greens because he knows this? Yes. Explaining why certain foods are good for us goes a long way on the healthy eating train, and making it fun by incorporating superheroes or your child's favorite characters always helps. And tip number 5, when all else fails, I make sure he's getting the essentials through supplementation. I am a firm believer that we should attempt to get all of our nutrients from food first. However, 9 times out of 10, we usually are not. This can be for a number of different reasons, from being a picky eater to the way our food's been grown or processed. It's never a bad idea to have a backup. And the first supplement Ben takes is a chewable multivitamin. The one we are currently using is from Big Friends, and it's sweetened with a little bit of xylitol, which is good for the teeth enamel, plus it tastes like candy, so Ben actually looks forward to taking it. There are a lot of supplements on the market that have some unwanted ingredients like a lot of sugar or artificial colors and dyes. Look at the ingredients before buying, or head to your local health food store where you have a better chance of purchasing a more quality product. We also give him fish oil because we want to ensure he's getting essential fatty acids to help his developing brain. And lastly, we give him a probiotic, which supports his digestion and immune system. Giving him these few key supplements every day gives him what I like to call his nutrient insurance. We aim for food first, but have a backup just in case, which is also good advice for us adults in general. I personally am a pretty healthy eater, and I know for a fact I am still not getting all the nutrients my body needs, and that's why I take supplements. So I want to clue things up today with the question, why does it even matter that we try to get our children to grow up eating good, healthy food? A lot of reasons. For example, when we provide our bodies with nutrients it needs to thrive, we are way more likely to be able to fight off viruses. I don't know about you, but from daycare to birthday parties, we need all the help we can get. Did you know that consuming too much sugar can actually deplete the immune system? Teaching our kids from a young age the importance of good food will help set them up for success and optimal health down the road. As a parent, all we can do is try. Live by example and continue sharing the importance of eating healthy. And remember, be patient. Sometimes it takes up to 30 times of seeing a new food placed in front of them before a child will eat it. If it doesn't happen overnight, it's okay. Implement some of the tips mentioned above, and before you know it, your child or husband might be eating and liking foods you never imagined. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, I would love if you could share with a friend or leave a review. If you screenshot that review and send it to hello@thewellnesslife.ca, you will then officially be entered to win a 7-day customized meal plan designed for you from yours truly. You also get entered if you share the podcast on social media. I pick a winner at the beginning of every month. And if you'd like a glimpse into how I live my best wellness life, follow me on Instagram at thewellnesslife.ca. Remember, you have to nourish to flourish. See you next time.